He last night in the woods. It was a quiet town tucked between towering forests. Mark had just finished his first year of college and needed a break. So, he decided to visit his childhood friend, Jason, for a few days. They hadn't hung out in a while, and Jason's family had this big, secluded cabin deep in the woods, the perfect place to get away from everything. The night Mark arrived, the woods surrounding the cabin felt even more imposing than he remembered. The trees stood tall like dark sentinels, casting long shadows under the pale moonlight. Jason laughed it off, saying, "It's just the trees. They look scarier at night, that's all." But Mark couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The air felt too still, the silence too thick. The kind of silence that makes you question whether you're alone. That evening, the two friends settled in front of the fireplace with a bottle of whiskey. They joked about old times, but as the night deepened, something strange began to happen. From outside the cabin, there was an odd sound, something faint, like a whistle carried by the wind. At first, they thought it was an animal, maybe a bird or a breeze rustling the leaves. But as the minutes passed, the whistling didn't stop. It was too rhythmic, too deliberate. Jason went to the window and peered outside. The night was still, and the moon bathed the trees in silver light. There was no sign of movement. "It's probably nothing," he said, but his voice lacked conviction. Mark felt his chest tighten. "I'm going to check it out." Jason looked at him, confused. "You sure? It's creepy out there, man." But Mark was already heading toward the door. "I'll be fine." The cold air hit him as soon as he stepped outside. He could feel the hairs on the back of his neck stand up. The whistle seemed to come from deeper in the woods now, almost as if something was trying to get his attention. With each step, the whistling grew louder, more distinct. It wasn't just a whistle, it was a tune, a soft, eerie melody that made the hair on Mark's arms rise. He walked deeper into the woods, his flashlight barely illuminating the path ahead. The trees seemed to close in around him, their branches reaching like bony fingers. Then, he saw it, a figure standing still between the trees. It was a man, or at least it looked like one. His back was to Mark, but there was something off about his stance. His arms were raised as if holding something, and he swayed gently back and forth, still whistling that same haunting tune. Mark froze, heart pounding in his chest. "Hello," he called out, his voice trembling. The figure didn't respond. Instead, it slowly turned around. Mark's breath caught in his throat. The man's face was pale, almost sickly, with dark circles under his eyes. But what made Mark's blood run cold was the expression, or rather, the lack of one. The man's face was empty, devoid of emotion, and his eyes, those eyes, they weren't human. They were wide, glassy, unblink.